Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial on request validation in Spring Boot. Uh, okay, in this tutorial we are going to cover we are going to setting up the project dependencies. Okay, sorry, we have set up the dependencies already, so we will be implementing the request validation service. IDA validation request validation service. Okay, and we will also be creating custom. Mm, for now, just stick to this implementing the request validation service. Okay, now let's open the tool here. First, we have to go to this payment controller. We have built this already using the request mapping of V1 payments, and here we have a post mapping init payment, uh, which is taking the request input parameters as what request body, which we will be providing through uh, this postman service. Okay, and then we have the payment request DTO. This is request DTO. We are using model mapper here to map the request, and then we have this response DTO, in which we are using this service payment service. So we are going to integrate it now. So let's just comment this and comment this also. Okay, and now we will be implementing this from scratch. We have this payment service. So here in services folder, this okay. We will be making payment service. Okay, let's call this P service. No, payment payment service two. Okay, as we already has this payment service, so we will be implementing the payment service two. Actually, it is an interface. As yes, I selected the class. Let's cancel it and go to new and implementing the interface here. Calling it payment payment service CRVIC service uh, 2. Okay, then finish, and then in implementation we will be creating the implementation of this. First we will writing uh, the method here pv public. It would be like taking the payment request DTO payment. Sorry, it will be but it will be returning us the payment response DTO. Okay, you can see here it is. But okay, let's copy it and paste it here, and then write the name of the validator. We have given here the validate and initiate. Okay, and it will be taking, what was it taking? It was taking request DTO. So where it is, this is request payment request DTO. Okay, it is something like this. We have user DTO here, payment DTO, and some getters and setters for them. In user DTO, it is something like this, in which we have end user ID, first name, last name, email, and phone number. Okay, and some getters and setters of this, and two string. And then here we have payment DTO. In payment DTO, we have merchant transaction reference and currency, country, local, and extra. Okay, and some getters and setters of all these fields. We will be closing this payment request DTO. So here, where it is, I guess. Okay. It was taking the parameter of request DTO, this payment request DTO. Let's copy and we will be pasting here directly and calling it as DTO. Okay. And okay, and import them, Control Shift O. Then save them, and let's make the implementation part. We will be creating new class here. In implementations, we have used this package implement impl. Okay, and naming this as payment payable payments service implement impl, and adding the interfaces payment uh, service. Okay, payment service 2. See, we are using 2 here. We already have the payment service, but for this demo I am using this second one, and we will just add it. Okay, it added successfully. Then we will be clicking finish, I guess. What's wrong here? One construct from the as inherit. Okay, and we already added it, so it is public. It is everything is alright, I guess. Type already exists. Okay, this payment service implementation is already exists, so we will be making payment service to implementation. Okay, then we will click the finish here. Okay, here we get this, and we will be annotating this class at the rate crvic rvic crvic service. Okay, huh? I think service, but it's service, right? service service. Okay, we have to import it also. Okay, Control Shift O. I just imported it here. Then what we have to do is write the validate and initiate method here. Okay, it is now right now returning the null. Mm, and what we have this I have some reference, so I will be taking my reference. Okay. mm, so first what we have to do is, okay, we have to annotate mm, mm, mm. So here we have, let's see the payment implementation before what it was. So here it is taking the values of the validators and then doing some steps. Okay, so we will doing the same. We will be doing the same. We'll be writing this where it was. Okay, here we will be writing at the rate VLUES values and L value, and providing the value like where it is. Okay, like this payment validators. Let's write, and then I will be showing what is this. This payment dot validate DORS validators. Let's call it second. Okay, and then I guess then we will be writing this private string value validation rules. Okay, we will be defining all the validation rules here. How priva priva private string and importing this value. Control Shift O. I guess it is string factory annotation values or dynamic annotation values. I think it is this one. Okay, let's check it. values values this. Okay, this is a Spring framework means the animation values. Okay, and what we have imported is will be in fact animation values. Okay, so from where it is going to come is let's go into this open declaration or open declaration type. Open declaration, we don't have anything here, but here we have open definition in main source. Okay, so we will be going to this main source and going to this the properties and locus. So we are local. We have to add this here, calling what we wrote there. Let's see, we wrote payment validators too. Okay, copy, and I will be writing here payment validators too, and writing the structure validations and validation request. So we will be making this request structure validation uh, where we will be making. So we will be making them later. Let's just write it. Okay, request validation structure validation second, and then save. After this, let's go back here and we have this validation rules in which we have this property of request structure validation 2, and we will be same doing it in development also. Okay, then save. After coming back, we have to write some code string validation rule array. Okay, we will be making this array if validation rules this is empty, means we have not assigned the validators here. Then what we are doing is then we will be assigning it with new string. Okay, I guess it is what it is. New string, and this is string validators rule array. Okay, we will be assigning it with 0. And then what we have to do is else if it is not empty, then we have to do is in this rules array we have to give this value of we have to split this and let me split this with comma, I guess, comma. Okay, see this what this comma um, okay, let's say we have this validation rule. Okay, open declaration, where it is. Okay, it's not taking the value payment validators to everything is right. So validators, but we are getting this, but not. Okay, later we will be saying what it is. Uh, we have this property file also. We have any validators? No, we do not have. In this prod, we are missing, I guess. No. Okay, let's not focus on these. What we have to do is after seeing we have this one validator, and in this previous one you can see this comma and the other validator written here. If we had something like duplicate accept transaction validator like dub txn val like this. So what it would be doing is in this where it is, yeah. So we have made this validation rule array, and if it is empty, then it is assigning it with a new string 0, and if it is not empty and we have values here, okay, like this validation rule here, it is not empty and has some data on it. So this split will do what it will be doing is in validation rule array index number 0, this request structure validation 2 will be alert assigning, and in the index second this duplicate transaction validation. For for now we just have this one validation, and then what we have to do is we got all the validation in this validation rule array from this, and after doing this we have to use the for loop string rule, what we have to do, rule name, and we will be getting this rule name from, I guess, this yeah. And then what we have to do is we will just this out our rule name, rule name, like or we can just take a difference, and what we are writing here, we are just writing rule name, okay. Yeah, we'll be giving rule name and printing out the rule name plus, yeah, copy. Okay, after doing this what we have to do is we have something validation rules, okay. We have a file, this where it is, I guess, in constants we have this validation rules nm file, okay, which is like this. So we will be building this once again. So come here and create new in this constant package. We have to create new uh, enum file, okay, enum file, whatever you call it. Here we will write validation rules, alias rules second, okay. Then just finish it, and this validation rule because to me this like we, where it was, we were assigning this request structure validation second. So we just our here we will be writing something like this, and then what we will be doing is writing this assigning the class, okay, class for it. Let's make class for this request validation. So we will be having this where are our validators. Validators. Here we have all the validators. Okay. So just to make the class, like we have this duplicate transaction validators. We have this class and implementing the validators. So this it is implementing validators from here. Okay. We have this class. So where would we have done this? We had okay. We were playing with validation rules, and then we have validators. Okay. So before creating this valid where our validator rules, we will be assigning the class here. Okay. For now, just write this request structure validator class. Then later we will be changing it. Request request validator. Okay, sorry. Request structure validator dot class. Okay, and then what we have to do is we have to after this, just semicolon and create custom constructor. Okay, we have constructor also. Statements. String, and then class request validated class one. And this dot name. This we have this name and so what we will be doing here is we will be making private uh, final string name and private final. We will be making class CLA is the class. Okay, and final class. Okay, then what we have to do is this we have the constructor. It will be taking the name. I guess request validation was like this. Okay, we had this final class here and this validation rule string name. Okay, this is the constructor. Let's just make the constructor out of it. Select surround with no source reflector what we have source then do we need or we can just copy and paste it here. It was like request validators too. Okay. And then we have structure validation too. We don't have this one for now. And then what will we be doing this? After that, we have this class constructor. Let's call it second. Okay. We have done getters for this boots and static void roles. Oh, from static void to two dot value. Okay. So here, what it is it will be returning us this class for later. Okay. Then we were implementing this. Okay, here what we have to write is we have to just go here and write that validation rules where it is. Copy, paste. We write it well being. Okay, then so here validation rules too, and this what it is doing is getting the rule name from here where it was this payment validator second and request structure validation 2 Then we will be getting it here in this string of validation rules, and then splitting them using this if else bracket and this in getting this in this string array. Okay, and from this we will be getting the indexing and get the row name, and after this using this enum class we will be getting the class of uh, of that rule that we have assigned. Here where it was, yeah, this the class we have assigned. Okay, later we will be changing it also. So after assigning this, what we have to do is we have this validator. I guess this validator class somewhere we have this validator class where it was this. It was in services. We have this called validator. It is interface. Okay, we will be making our new one. Interface validator. Validator second. It was validator one. Then we have using validator second, and then we will do validation. Okay, just like do validation, and it is taking input of request and request. Let's just copy this and paste it here. Okay, then save. Uh, then what we have to do is we have to make this class. Okay, what it is doing is implementing the validators from here. So now we are making this request structure validator class. We will calling this request structure validator. Uh, okay, but just we will calling this second, and then we will be implementing from validated second. Then okay, what we got validated second. First one we got second one. After this, we have to write down the validation. So for this, I guess sorry for this request validator. Okay, okay. Then the request here. Okay. After getting the request, we will be adding the validators here. Okay. What kind of validators we are going to use? For the validations, what we have here is this. Uh, our structure is like this. We have this user and this payment. Okay. Copy all this and paste it here. Okay. See, you can see here. We have first we have this user and then we have this payment. If somebody uh, not send us this user, okay, right? The user is missing. So we have to write this validation rules so that the request will not be what will not move further and not be going to save into our database. Okay, and or somebody not sending us this payment. Okay, then we will not validate this also. Or what can happen is somebody is not sending all this and sending this blank to us. Okay, so for that, what we will be doing, we will be writing some validation. So request
this request. Okay, where it is. The request we are getting this request. Okay, if somebody gave this request
as like empty. We can have
1 2 3 yes, like it is first. It is PHP empty. Second, what we can have is user is empty.
empty. And third, what we can have is payment section is empty. Okay. For all this, we have to write the validation as
So here we will be going back here and writing this request condition. This if request this request request null.
it can be null, or or if request dot get user is null, or what can happen is
If this request dot get payment all is null. Okay. These are all the conditions which could be which could happen. Okay. So what we have to do is we have to just list out and
this out this request, we will be writing invalid va valid request received. Okay, and printing the request. Should I print the first we have printed here? Okay, just print it once again. And then we have to, after doing this, we have to throw an exception. Okay, we will throw an exception like this validation exception val x is equal to new validation exception, and it takes three inputs. Okay,
validation exceptions. We have this validation exceptions in our exceptions package here, payment stored exceptions. We will be importing from there, and it takes three parameters. Okay, let's visit.
it takes where these three parameters of error code,
Error message and error status. This error code, error message, and HTTP status code. So we will be providing here
enum class. I guess it was enum code, error code enum. Okay, error code enum. What we had is error code enum. Okay,
we had a file in config and
this error code enum. We had this.
okay, we have written all the errors here. So we will be writing new one.
Like okay, okay. What our error was request uh, structure structure invalid. We have already written here, so we will be just copying this and paste, and then okay, and writing this invalid second. Okay, and giving this code of we already have 5. Let's just 6. Okay, then let's come back here. Error code what we have invalid request dot get error code, and then copy this, paste it here. We have then dot message, error message. Okay. Then http status dot get request and save. And then we will be printing this something like just throw throw where exception and save. If we will getting this, it will throw this exception. Okay. If not, then we can simply say we can simply sys out like simply sys out a request structure validation process successful. Request structure validation. System process process is successfully and then save. We have written all this uh, request structure validations where we were here. So we will go in this validator. Okay, we build this validator second and write this method of do validations, which was taking input of payment request data. Then inside this, we implemented it in here this class of request structure validation 2, and we implemented everything here. And then what we will be doing here is we will calling this validation rules validator validator second importing this validator second, and then what we will be doing is calling this well-being and validator second. Then we will be calling this app configure. We have something like this. Create what was it? I guess application configuration. Uh, we had something like that. That payment service. Yes. Providing this application context. Okay, let's copy this. We have something like this application context. Okay, application context. Let's copy validate. Then we are doing is application context dot get being, and then we will be writing this this dot get class. Okay, we imported it successfully even after this. Is cannot custom function. Okay, so nothing is the variations. Maybe validator two. So why it is throwing an error? Create class validator. Okay. Okay, validator to app constructs dot get bean dot get clutch. I guess it was clutch, not class. Dot get uh dot get clutch. Okay, so this is the result. Okay, and removing this, then we will be calling the dot do validation and providing the DTO here. Okay, okay, let me explain what I was doing. Uh, okay, I will explain later. For now, we have this code, and then we will be using payment response DTO. We will be using this, and then we will be using this. It's equal to new payment response DTO, and then what we will be doing is, okay, we have this response DTO, and we have this redirect URL. Okay, response dot set redirect URL. We will be setting anything like HTTP, any URL we can say HTTPS www.google.com. Okay, then after that we will be returning this response. Okay, so this for loop, what it is doing is it will pick up the rule name, and then in this validator rule second and plus what it will be doing is, let's go and see here. What it is doing is we are calling this for name method. Okay, and what it is doing, it is taking string name. The name is the rule name. Okay, we are providing the rule name, and after that if getting the rule name, what it is doing it is in this for loop, it is checking for the values, and in this if case, okay, it is type dot get name equals to the ignore case, then rule name we are given the rule here, this value, and the rule matches, it will return the class of that. Okay, we have written this class. I was saying earlier that I will be changing it later, so we will change it with this request structure validator second, but we just wrote. Okay, we will be copying it here from, and then into validation rules second we will be pasting it here. So what it will do is, okay, let's import, then save. It will pick the class from here. Okay, and then after picking the class from here, it will return that class. We will get that class in this enum file, and after this, we will get the bean of that enum file using this validator. Okay, we have this validator second. We have this do validation service here. What it will do is get that bean of that validator, and what we will be getting that okay, that validators, we have this do validate. Okay, and we have implemented it in here in this request structure validation. Okay, so it will be getting so this line, what it is doing, it is getting that implementation for us, and we will get that implementation of that what this this implementation. Okay, what we have implemented this validator second here, and overwritten this do validator uh, method. Likewise, previously we had this validator. This here we have this do validator. In this, we in implementation we have this two class. Okay, duplicate transaction validator and request structure validators. These two clauses are implementing this um, one interface. So for that we have written this. After this, what it is doing is getting us this request structure validator to class. If we have another, so it will be getting us the other, but the rule name we have set. Okay, and then calling this do validation uh, method. Okay, and after this, let's okay, we have everything. Let's save everything. And let's come back to our payment controller, what we have left already. Okay, we have this something like this. Okay, we will be implementing from, let's copy this, paste. We will calling this service validation, and we had this payment service. Now we have payment service 2, I guess. Where is services? This payment service 2. So what else could I say? We write service 2. Okay. After this, here we have service second and mm, dot validate initiate. Okay, everything we have same. After payment response, this service validator service 2, what we had here is this validate and initiate, and where we have declared this. Okay, where it is, I guess it was service 2 declaration, open implementation. Here we have implementation of this. After that, we will be going back here, and we call that validation. And after doing that validation, what we will be doing is payment response. We will be making this response, and in this payment response, we are using this model mapper to map our response. Okay, let's uncomment this. Model mappers dot payment response class. Uh, Payment response dot class. We have this response dtu. Okay, and then after we are printing this. Okay, and then we are returning this response back. New response sensitive payment response. This response with what we just created and with the status code of 200. Okay, let's save and go here to run as build clean spring boot run skip test and then run. Okay, I guess the service started. Okay, let's wait. For now, just let's go here. We have this post request in this in our postman and all the request structure here. So after that, what we will be doing is, I guess okay, application started successfully. We will hitting this from here. Okay, unable to process your request. Please try again later. Why? Internet server error. Why it is giving me like this error? Group exception handled before. No. Role name received unknown error. Cannot invoke validator tool because is null. Okay. We have this response DTO validators open implementation here. We have validation for name this, for class this, validation nm dot class this, validator 2. I guess, okay. I know where is the problem. Okay, we wrote this request structure validation 2. Okay, in this our error code we have written structure validation 2, and this validation rule what we have is also this validation 2. Then save uh, structure name request structure validation 2. I guess class the dot class validator 2. Now I guess it should run. Val enum is run is null. Why it is showing it is null? Okay, let's see once again. It is saying val enum is null in our code where payment validators 2 dot get class validators rule second we have this dot class like this, and it is saying it is null. Why? We have rules 1, we have rules 2, right? Nothing changed. Okay, and when we had this okay, let's exception validator exceptions, nothing there. In payment services 2, we have this validated 2 do validate upon implementation. So it is saying that dot class is missing. Why? I'm supposed to validate and initiate an implementation. We have this implementation over here. This role name. We have this varana for name, role name. Uh, we are getting this role name from I don't know from where. Okay, let's see if this role name is printing. Okay, okay, role name in this mapper order map. Okay, payment init payment invoke payment request this and payment validators 2 role name. We are printing this role name new. Yeah, once again send what. Okay, new and this role name payment request 2. Okay, I guess we have some problems over here. Payment validator second, and what we have is payment validate dot validators structure validation second. If we call this one, then we'll see what happens. Let's call it new. So we are getting this error and the dispatch fail, compilation problem. Addition rules cannot be resolved. Validation rules cannot be resolved. Validation rules cannot be resolved. Yes. Hmm. Okay. Now test it once again. Okay. Now we are getting the response. Okay. So now check all the cases. If the request is empty, okay. So we will be going from down here. Okay. If payment is empty, so it should throw us with an error. Okay. Let's remove the payment from here and then send. Okay. Unable to process your request. Please try again later. Why? Okay. Why this error and not the other error? Okay. See, invalid request. Please provide user payment. And now, okay, we check this one. Okay, let's call it HTC check. Okay, and then for the if user is empty. Okay, if user we do not provide the user. Okay, we do not provide the user. It gives us with the same response. Or if we say we provide user but everything inside is empty, then okay, then it is redirecting. So we will be seeing that later. For now, changing, and if we send the empty, then it will throw us an error of saying invalid request. Please provide user and payment in request. So I guess we have completed the checked. Okay, we will be writing like HKD checked, and this also checked. Okay, I guess the task is complete for this video. So thank you for thanks a lot for watching the video.